Pride. No team wears its past louder than the Lakers. They've won 17 championships, tied for most in NBA history, and parade out a Mount Rushmore of legends. Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron. That history isn't just honored, it's weaponized. The Lakers act like the NBA revolves around them because in many ways it has. They've got more retired jerseys than some franchises have playoff wins. And even when they're mid-tier, they still dominate headlines, trade talks, and primetime slots. Laker fans expect rings, not hope, not wish, expect. Every losing season is treated like a temporary glitch in destiny. They'll be out of playoff contention, and you'll still hear fans pitching trades for stars like it's a video game. They're allergic to rebuilding, which is why their strategy has always been attraction. Stars don't get developed here. They get delivered. Whether it's Wilt in the 70s, Shaq in the 90s, or LeBron in 2018, the Lakers believe greatness is drawn to them naturally. This pride bleeds into the culture. Courtside isn't just a seat, it's a red carpet. The franchise leans into this royalty act so hard that being mediocre feels off-brand. And when they do win, it's not celebrated like an underdog story. It's treated like restoration. The Lakers don't chase greatness, they assume it. Greed. Greed in basketball doesn't always mean winning. It means wanting everything now, regardless of the cost. That's the Brooklyn Nets. In 2019, they assembled a super team overnight. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and eventually James Harden. On paper, it was genius. But it wasn't built on culture, chemistry, or continuity. It was built on star chasing. The Nets didn't just want to win. They wanted to dominate, headline, and fast-track a dynasty. They mortgaged the future. Young talent, first-round picks, role players, all gone. The result? A total of one playoff series win. The roster was unstable, the vibes chaotic, and the stars couldn't coexist. Injuries, trades, and off-court drama tore it down just as fast as it went up. But instead of learning, Brooklyn pivoted to another flashy fix, like signing Ben Simmons or chasing another big name. Greed isn't just about acquisition, it's about impatience, and Brooklyn has none to spare. They didn't want to build like Denver, they wanted to skip steps. But the truth is, culture can't be bought, and identity can't be traded for. Now they're left with fragments of a dream, high payroll, low chemistry, and no clear path forward. In trying to grab everything, they ended up with nothing. That's greed. It blinds you with potential and leaves you with regret. Wrath. Wrath doesn't just describe the Knicks, it defines them. From the front office to the fan base, rage is baked into this franchise's identity. The Knicks haven't won a title since 1973, and every year without one builds another layer of frustration. Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball, is a pressure cooker. Boos start faster here than anywhere else. Draft picks like Kristaps Porzingis have been booed before even suiting up, only to later be cheered and then booed again on the way out. The rage isn't blind. It's personal. Every Knicks fan has felt heartbreak in waves, from Stephon Marbury's tears to Linsanity's flameout, from Melo's ISO-heavy playoff flameouts to the fizzled hope of Zion, KD, and Kyrie. This isn't just disappointment, it's betrayal. The Dolan era turned the team into a meme, and every bad trade or missed opportunity gets met with fury online and in the bleachers. Even their style reflects wrath. This team plays physical, grimy basketball. Jalen Brunson drives into bodies. Julius Randle yells after every bucket. The Garden doesn't want finesse, they want fire. And when the team finally starts winning, that wrath turns into loyalty. But it's always simmering. One loss, and it all comes flooding back. That's the Knicks, a fan base and franchise forever teetering between love and war. Lust. Lust is desire without discipline. And the Phoenix Suns have spent the last few years in love with names instead of teams. First came Chris Paul, a savvy move that actually worked, pushing them to the 2021 finals. But after that, the Suns got addicted to star power. They wanted big names, big moves, and quick titles. So they went all in on Kevin Durant. Then they added Bradley Beal, 3 elite scorers, 0 real plan. Their bench, thin, their defense, exposed, their chemistry, non-existent. The Suns wanted a fantasy lineup, not a functional one. They weren't interested in grinding out cohesion or building slow trust between players. They were obsessed with the big 3 model. The problem, it was outdated, and they had no depth to support it. Even coaching reflected that lust. They fired Monty Williams, the guy who brought them out of mediocrity, for a flashier hire. Every move screamed impatience, chasing the next big fix without solving the root issues. And now, despite the star power, they're stuck around .500, getting bounced early in the playoffs, wondering how it all looks so good but works so poorly, because lust never lasts. It burns bright and fast, and when it's over, all you're left with is smoke. That's the Suns, a team that fell for the highlight reel and ignored the fundamentals. Sloth. Sloth isn't laziness, it's inertia, and the Washington Wizards have spent decades stuck in it. This is the NBA's ultimate treadmill team. They don't tank hard enough to rebuild properly, and they don't win enough to matter. They just exist. You know how most franchises have eras? The Wizards have seasons: forgettable, replaceable, and directionless. Look at their past decade. They clung to the John Wall-Bradley Beal duo long after the window had closed, paying max money for minimal return. Then when they finally broke it up, they replaced it with what, exactly? Jordan Poole gunning for inefficient 30-point nights? Kyle Kuzma as a volume scorer on a lottery team? There's no identity, no spark, just vibes and bad contracts. Draft picks haven't saved them either. Rui Hachimura, gone. Denny Avdija, decent but unspectacular. And now they're watching rebuilds in Houston, Oklahoma City, and Detroit actually generate hope, while they stay locked in purgatory. Even when they try to tank, they do it half-heartedly. Sloth isn't failure. It's failure with no urgency to change. The fan base barely reacts anymore, because what's the point? At least when teams like the Hornets or Pistons are bad, there's a plan. The Wizards are just floating. And in the NBA, that's worse than losing. It's being forgotten. Gluttony. At their peak, the Warriors were perfect. The ball movement, the shooting, the defense, it was basketball nirvana. 4 titles in 8 years made them a dynasty, but instead of evolving, they got greedy. Gluttony doesn't mean success. It means consuming so much of something you can't stop, even when it's hurting you. And Golden State couldn't stop devouring their past. They spent big to keep the band together. Klay got max money, Draymond got paid, even Jordan Poole got a bag before being shipped off. They added Chris Paul, a Hall of Fame point guard who didn't fit their tempo at all, just to try and wring one more drop out of the dynasty. They blew through luxury tax thresholds like they were speed bumps, and every move screamed one thing: we're not done yet. But the reality? They were. Klay slowed down, Draymond stayed volatile, and even Steph, still brilliant, couldn't carry them alone. Young players like James Wiseman got buried or mishandled. They never developed the next generation because they were too busy feeding the old one. Now they're stuck in a weird in-between. Not bad enough to rebuild, not good enough to contend, and still paying like they're a title team. That's gluttony. Consuming greatness until there's nothing left but the bill. Envy. The Timberwolves are always looking over the fence. They see Milwaukee with Giannis, Denver with Jokic, and even OKC with Shai. Those teams built through the draft, developed stars, and found their identity. Minnesota, they just wanted the same success, but faster. The Gobert trade is the ultimate envy move. They saw Utah's defensive anchor and thought, let's buy that. They gave up picks, depth, and flexibility for a guy who didn't fit. Why? Because they envied teams that already had their formula figured out. Instead of trusting their own timeline, they tried to force one. This isn't new either. From trading Ray Allen for Stephon Marbury to failing to build around Kevin Garnett, the Wolves have always reached for shortcuts. And now, even with Anthony Edwards looking like a future superstar, there's uncertainty. Are they building around him or still trying to win with the old plan? Envy makes you ignore your own blessings, and Minnesota has plenty. Edwards is electric. Jaden McDaniels is a defensive nightmare. Naz Reid is one of the best backup bigs in the league, but the front office keeps chasing validation from outside. The result? A team that feels like it's on the edge of something, but unsure of what, because envy doesn't build, it copies. If you like this video, consider watching this next one, which YouTube thinks you are going to really love.